This is a reading from Whispers from Eternity, a book of poems and prayers by Ananda Sangha Bangalore. This is called My Devotion. O thou mother of all conscious things, be thou consciously receptive to my prayers. Through thee I know all that I know, and thou knowest all I know, so thou knowest my prayers. And knowing and feeling thee constantly thus, I know that thou art I, and I am thou. My little wavelet has vanished in thee. I know thee alone as all existence. Thou alone art the ever-existent. Thou dost exist now, and thou shalt be evermore. Thou art impersonal, invisible, unseen, formless, omnipresent. But thou art also personal through love. Forever I want to worship thee as both personal and impersonal. By my devotion I have beheld thee, sometimes as Krishna, sometimes as Christ, personal, visible, and imprisoned in little forms, and hidden within the little temple of my love. O invisible one, as thou didst freeze that part of thine unseen finitude in the arctic ice of finitude, so do thou appear unto me, visible and living, that I may serve thee always. I want to see thee as the ocean of all life, both with and without the ripples of creation. O Creator of all things, I want to worship thee as everything. This is a reading from the autobiography of a yogi, from the chapter from Cosmic Consciousness, Experience in Cosmic Consciousness. Ever new joy is God. He is inexhaustible. As you continue your meditations during the years, He will beguile you with an infinite ingenuity. Devotees like yourself, who have found the way to God, never dream of exchanging Him for any other happiness. He is seductive beyond thought of competition. How quickly we weary of earthly pleasures. Desire for material things is endless. Man is never satisfied completely and pursues one goal after another. The something else he seeks is the Lord, who alone can grant everlasting joy. Outward longings drive us from the Eden within. They offer false pleasures, which only impersonate soul happiness. The lost paradise is quickly regained through divine meditation. As God is unanticipatory ever-newness, we never tire of Him. Can we be surfeited with bliss, delightfully varied throughout eternity? I understand now, sir, why saints call the Lord unfathomable. Even everlasting light could not suffice to appraise Him. That is true, but He's also very near and dear. After the mind has been cleared by Kriya Yoga of sensory obstacles, meditation furnishes a twofold proof of God. Ever new joy is evidence of His existence, convincing to our very atoms. Also in meditation, one finds His instant guidance, His adequate response to every difficulty. I see, Guruji, you have solved my problem. I smile gratefully. I do realize now that I have found God. For whenever the joy of meditation has returned subconsciously, during my active hours, I have been subtly directed to adopt the right course in everything, even details. Human life is beset with sorrow until we know how to tune in with the divine will, whose right course is often baffling to the egotistic intelligence. God bears the burden of the cosmos. He alone can give unerring counsel. It's a wonderful, amazing thing to think about cosmic consciousness and to read about cosmic consciousness. This chapter in the autobiography of a yogi is especially dear to devotees because it explains in words what we're striving for. And to most of us, this seems way beyond our scope of experience and where we can possibly go to in this lifetime, because we are hypnotized into thinking that this is our reality. We're hypnotized by these bodies, our health, our marriages, our education, our families, our children. Everything in this world pulls us away from the experience that is ours, every moment of every day of cosmic consciousness. And as Kriya yogis, as devotees of this path, and of every path really, but the path that leads to God, as devotees, we need to understand that the only thing that is keeping us from realizing our oneness with God, that perfect love, that unending joy, that bliss, the only thing is our desire. We have desires for this world, and so we are caught. But if our desire was for God alone, as the great saints desire, or for God alone, we would be there in an instant. Because Yogananda said the only thing that's keeping us from knowing that we're free is the thought, I'm not free. It's a very strong thought in us, because we are so bound to this world, we know we're not free. Look around. It's a joke if you think we're free. Look at me. I'm not free. We should banish that thought from our consciousness and use the affirmation, I am free, I am free, I am free. That should be our mantra. I am free in God. I am free in cosmic consciousness. My soul is united with God. I am one with God. I am a child of God. That's truth. That is the truth. And we need to wake up to that truth. And that's why we chose that affirmation this morning. Alertness. Be awake. Be enthusiastic. Be energetic. I am awake in God. And that's the truth. This world is so hypnotizing. That's the only word I can think of, because it says, come to me, I am so beautiful, this is going to give you pleasure, I promise you will love success, you will love money, you will love material things, you will love your family, you will love everything in this world, I promise. And so we get hypnotized, and then we're just melted into the world, and there we are, in a miasma of thought that says we are of this world. Well, we are not of this world. We are of God. And this world is a very, very, very temporary existence. Temporary existence. Think of that. You know, you look at a newborn baby. I remember when our daughter was born. Beautiful experience. She was born, and it was just Haridas and myself, and she came into this world just with the two of us. It was very quiet, and we wanted to be in seclusion during this time. So she was born into this world. And the funny thing was that when she was born, she didn't cry. And all the doctors and medical people will say, well, pinch her and hit her and, you know, shake her and do all these things, make sure she's alive. But we didn't. We just were there with her. And her eyes were wide open, and she was just looking around for hours. She didn't cry for hours. It was really an amazing experience, and we felt in that moment of her birth that she had, where she had come from, who she was, her soul, just out there, naked before us. She was still in the astral world, but just coming into this world and starting to get acclimated and wondering, okay, here we are, again, and again, and again. But her soul was vibrant in those moments when she was born. And you think about it, you know, we looked at her and we said, hello, old friend. Here we are again, coming to teach one another lessons so that we can both find God together. That's really the purpose of families, to help one another find God together. That's the purpose of them. And so, as life goes on, you know, we saw her grow up, and then she learns to walk, and then she learns to talk. Little by little, that energy, that vibrant, spiritual, dynamic, astral energy starts to fade. It starts to fade because we begin to live in the world, and so did she. And then you go through your life, and it's for each one of us, First, the people tell you, you have to go to this preschool because if you want to get into MIT, you have to study now while you're 2 years old and learn your alphabet. And you're thinking as a baby, I'm sure, are you crazy? Who wants to do that? You know? We're souls. We're already one with God, and we know that when we come into this world. We know that. But then we start to listen to everybody that tells us what we should be, what we should do, what we should think, what we should go for in this world. We start to think, and then we start believing it. And then pretty soon, all of us are enmeshed in this play. But then we begin to experience through karma, through our life experiences, well, this didn't work. I'm still not happy. Maybe I'll do what they said to do here. Well, that didn't work. I'm still not really joyful. That's not really good. And this, I'm doing this over here. They said it was going to be fun, but now I'm really unhealthy. Okay, well then I'm going to go try that. So gradually the soul comes out through trial and error into the clear light of God. Because nothing in this world, through our own experience, is going to give us that lasting happiness that our soul knows already. And so little by little that yearning starts, that yearning in the soul. I want something else. What's in it for me? Why am I here? What is this? Why am I here? And so little by little, gradually, more and more, we start asking that question. And then we start getting the answers. And that's what self-realization is. Little by little, you open up to the thought, wow, that didn't work. That's a realization. That's a realization. You never go back there again because it did not work. And you know it on a soul level. That's self-realization on a very tiny, minuscule way of showing you that this is not the world. And then on and on, until finally you look around you and you say, well, now what? Nothing's worked. That's self-realization. That's like, oh, your soul is saying, finally you're listening, finally. And you're becoming more and more awake. And because you're becoming more and more awake, you have more and more energy. And your thoughts are turning inward and upward. Your energy is turning inward and upward. Your heart is opening. You're starting to feel compassion for people. You're starting to understand life more. You're starting to understand why you're here. You're here so that you can become one with God. And you can share that with others. And so gradually the soul calls and calls and calls. And then you get a book and you read the book. This is self-realization. And you know beyond a doubt that this book is true. It's the first truth you've ever read in your life. This truth of spiritual teaching is exactly resonating with you. It's exactly telling you that, wow, there is something more than this world. So that realization is there. And then you open up and then the guru arrives. Because your yearning becomes so strong after that. Your desire is so strong that you call and call to God and say, why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? What's the point of all of this? And you just know. You know that the world is not going to give you what your soul needs. So you call and you call to the Guru. And then the Guru comes. And then the Guru arrives. And then the Guru, you say, I want to be your disciple. And he says, you have good karma. I give you my unconditional love. And the Guru says, my own you have come. And the Guru then takes your hand and says, I will help you through. I am your true friend. I am going to give you God's unconditional love. I will help you. And this relationship will be forged in eternity. And that is what life is about. When you hold on to the Guru's feet, what can you do but just relax into where he's going to take you? Because he knows your karma. He knows our karma. He knows all of it. He knows what's locked in our spines. He knows how to release it. We've been releasing it through action in this world. Action and reaction. Now, he gives us a technique, Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga dissolves the karma in our own spine and brain. It dissolves it. Dissolving means makes it disappear. Makes it so that we don't have to act out anymore in this world, the good and the bad and the sad and the happy. it's in the spine and it gets dissolved through the pranayama. But through the grace of the Guru, it's a Guru-given technique. So the more Kriya we do, the more devotion we have, the more love for God we have, that is our propulsion into cosmic consciousness. And we cannot compare ourselves with other people, but we can only go inside and hold on to that which is real, and that is the Guru, and that is Kriya Yoga, and that is Divine Mother. Divine Mother is real. She's been yearning to help us. She's been waiting for us to just turn to her and say, okay, I'm ready now. And so for everybody that hears this talk on the internet or reads the autobiography or is in this room, or so many people are getting that self-realization on the planet now. The world is trying to tell us it's a dark place and you should be very afraid. Well, we should be aware. We should be not afraid, but aware that, yeah, that's that. That's where a life without God will take me. But when you have the Guru and Kriya Yoga and your Guru Bhais and Divine Mother, what's to be afraid of? Nothing. We have just put our trust in the wrong thing. Now we put our trust in God. Truly, you can take these steps on the spiritual path. Give your life wholeheartedly to God. Don't take baby steps anymore. In the beginning, baby steps are okay. But we're grown-ups now. And we need to jump off the pier and say, I want you. I want only thee, Lord. I want only thee. And trust that He's going to catch you when you jump off that pier. And He will catch you. He does catch you. We went to Puri, to Sri Yukteswar's shrine where his Mahasamadhi was last week. And when I was meditating there, I just felt like I was thinking about Rose, our daughter, and the life, and all children, and the life we live, and the, you know, the metamorphosis of the consciousness over a lifetime. But there was Master Sri Yukteswar buried right there. And right before we went to his shrine, we had seen a video of Yogananda with Sri Yukteswar when he died. And there was Sri Yukteswar's dead body, and he was leaning against Sri Yogananda. Simply amazing. And then they took him in a blanket, and then they put him in the Mahasamadhi crypt into the grave. And it was thrilling because I thought, just a few days later, Sri Yukteswar appeared in body in Bombay to Yogananda. That's the end of the story. The end of the story wasn't the sadness of the Guru laying his Guru to rest and the Guru leaving the body. Oh no. The end of the story was the resurrection of Sri Yukteswar coming to Master in Bombay in flesh and body, and telling him all the mysteries of the astral world and the cosmic consciousness that he wanted to know. That's reality. So we have to watch it all the way through. So our body dies and we get sick. Great. But look what's going to happen. We're going to resurrect. We are going to come into our own. This body will go very soon. These lives are very short. And if we use this lifetime very wisely, and really be disciplined with our meditation, really be even disciplined with our devotion, because devotion means desire for God. Really don't let this world grab you anymore. No matter how hard it gets, quickly turn to God and say, help me. Quickly turn to the Guru and say, I need you. I really need you right now. I'm fallen. I'm not doing so good. I need you. In the second, in 1 second, the Guru will be there. He's right there. He's going to help you. He'll change a thought. He'll send someone to you. He'll send the right book. He'll change the circumstance. We need to really think in a different paradigm now. Think in a different paradigm, not a worldly paradigm. It's all nothing. It's really all nothing. But God is everything. And God alone should be our goal. And unconditional love should be our goal. And compassion and kindness. And all the qualities of God that we want in our lives, we need to share. We need to put those out. And then they'll come back. And then you'll see what a difference your life made at the end of your life. You know, we don't think our lives make any difference because we just don't have very high opinions of ourselves, and we're not really doing anything great outwardly, but inwardly we're finding God. And when you find God, you can help so many people. You can help so many people with the right kind of help. Rajarsi Janakananda was sitting at Encinitas on the grass in a state of samadhi, and he was just meditating. Great soul, free in this lifetime. He was Nakula, the positive twin of the Pandava brothers. But he was meditating, and he was Master's closest disciple. And Master walked by with one of the disciples, and they were sort of talking, and the Master said, shh, shh, don't disturb him. You don't know how many souls will be helped by his meditation and his samadhi. What a beautiful story. And so for each one of us, we don't know when we meditate how many souls are being helped through our meditation, through our efforts, through our prayer, through our service. We don't know. But we do it not for the results, but because that's the nature of God. The nature of God is love. And we are part of that love. So the more we express that love in meditation and in our daily lives, then we will see what cosmic consciousness is. Because we're all already there. We're already there. So I wanted to just say one more thing about the 8-hour meditation that's going to happen on Saturday. And it starts at 8 and ends at 4. It's a tradition that we meditate for 8 hours every Christmas. Yogananda started it. And people have stayed through the whole thing, and they come for parts of it. But those blessings stayed with us throughout the year. And it's just one time meditating 8 hours. But it's not like we sit there and you have to close your eyes. And it was funny, the little kids at the retreat that we just went to, they were doing a meditation, and we got a picture of them. And they were all sitting there like this, and their eyes were wide open. It was the cutest thing. we don't have to sit like that. And the meditation, because of all of us coming together, will be very deep. And that's how we help each other. Our Guru Bhais coming together to really support one another in our spiritual lives by meditating. So come to the 8-hour meditation. And there are chanting breaks, and there are readings, and we'll listen to Master's voice. Even if you can just come for a little while, come, because you'll get a deep blessing this Christmas. Christ is one of our gurus. He also resurrected to his disciples. He's a great master. And he's the one that started the whole thing going. He went to Babaji, and he said, it's not working. They're not following my teachings of inner communion. And so Babaji said, okay, I'll take over. And then he started this work through Lahiri Mahashaya. So come to the Christmas meditation. It's next Saturday. 17th. Yeah, 17th. Yeah. And go deep. And then share the blessings. You'll find out that just by being here, you're helping the world. Just by meditating together. The vibration changes around you, and then around your environment, and then around the world. So, God bless you all.